Hello and welcome to Connected, episode 409. It's made possible this week by our sponsors, Squarespace, SourceGraph, and Capital One. My name is Stephen Hackett, and I'm joined by Mr. Myke Hurley.
Hello.
Hello.
And I am joined by Federico Vitici. Hi, Federico.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Good. It's your birthday next week.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Federico's birthday next week.
Yeah, it happens once a year.
How old are you going to be? 34?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Let me tell you, it's not a good one.
But I don't feel a day over 25. So
of course
that's
boy.
the thing.
And you look, so you look great, young.
Thank you. Thank you.
Strong like bull, all that kind of stuff.
Yes. Okay.
It's all fun and games till you're in your mid-30s.
Hey, don't say that.
We're not in our mid-30s yet.
I'm not. And next year I'm still gonna be 34. So I'm never
good.
never gonna be 35 basically. So yeah, it goes on. It's like a leap year. It goes on.
Wow.
I don't care. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Pick a number between 1 and 24.
Oh my God. Again.
1.
23.
21, Myke cheated. That's exactly, as I speak, how many hours are left to back the
I
Apple
did not
History
cheat. I just
calendar
said the number.
Kickstarter.
I just said it.
It ends Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. So if you were listening to this when it comes out, you have a very short amount of time, over 1,000 backers now. Everyone who's backed this, thank you. This has been... it's been a lot of fun. I've worked really hard the last couple of weeks finishing up the photography. These guys have seen some of the shots.
Yeah,
and
it looks so good.
I'm really proud of it.
I would like to issue a personal challenge to 120 connected listeners. There are 120 connected listeners that will have not... I'm sure there's more, but but there are at least 120 of you that haven't backed the calendar yet. If you do, Stephen will beat last year's backer number. So... I issue a personal challenge to you all. Show Stephen who's right. It's you that's right.
Wait.
I'm trying. I don't know what that meant.
What?
Right, I'm just trying to I just want people to feel like they have a personal reason to do it.
Sounds like a threat. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of like. I want these people to feel like, yeah, I'll show him. I'll back his Kickstarter. I feel like
I'll show him. I'll give him my money.
What I mean? Like it will boil up enough, like in them to be like. I'll show him. Because I'm assuming, like everyone that's like, oh, I really want this thing, a lot of them would have done it by now. But now I'm trying to get to those other people who are like, there's no way I'm going to do it. And now I'm kind of treating it like if for some reason you feel like there's no way I'm going to get that calendar, now you can show who's right by getting the calendar.
Right.
Why would you not want to do it? Don't you want to impress your loved ones with Apple software history trivia?
No, Stephen,
is that
this
what
is
you
the wrong attitude.
Is that what you think this calendar does? Impress your loved ones? In which way?
Look, if you want to keep your loved ones, buy a calendar. How about that?
I love it. See, this is it. Because now we've had like a few weeks of the good sell, right? You've been good cop. Now we're going to go bad cop to like pick up those stragglers.
Bad cop.
I don't know. I feel like an effective pitch right now to get even more people could be, and bear with me, Stephen, could be, hey, do you want a gift that will upset your friends, like a ridiculous gift that nobody will understand? Buy a calendar about computers sitting in a field. Like that could be also a pitch, like worst gift for the 2022 holiday season. A calendar. I mean, whatever. You're still going to get the money, right?
Here's one. Are you going to college and need friends? If you put this on your dorm room door, people will say, what's that? And now you have a friend-making opportunity.
Yes. Also that. Yeah.
That will work.
Or if you're going to college and you don't want friends, it could work the same way.
But that way, you have to bring everyone in, say, look, this is the thing that I own and I like it. You have to make that part.
Please date me.
You know what you should do next year? Instead of the classic Kickstarter video in your studio, we all know you by now, right? We know, you're Stephen Hackett, you're doing the calendar thing with the computers and everything. But next year, you take it up a notch and you do a video that is like a QVC style video.
Flex tape. You got to go flex tape energy, big flex tape energy. Pam! Calendars. That's kind of where you're going to go. You just slam the calendar on the wall.
Yes.
Like a
Yes,
That's good.
Go to applehardwarecalendar.com.
Link in the show notes. The two of you know this story. I don't want to give specifics about the image because I don't like spoiling them, but I was working on a photo earlier this week, and there's this, Myke's been there actually. There's not far from here, there's a field where they grow sunflowers. So every summer it is filled with people taking engagement photos and baby photos and that sort of thing, right? Because it's like a beautiful thing. It's at sunset. You go during happy hour. You go during golden hour. Happy hour is a different thing. You go during golden hour.
That went right over my head, man. I would never have noticed that one. So I'm pleased you caught it.
And I was out there with a piece of technology taking photos of it in the sunset, and I got some looks. I got some questions.
It may be one of my, if not my favorite photo of all of the two calendars combined. So
check it out. Thank you if you have. And if you haven't, you'll be sorry. As foretold, 15 games have left.
You'll be sorry?
You told me to do the bad cop.
No, I like it. I just think I wasn't expecting it.
Taking things very literally. Okay.
15 games have left Apple Arcade. First batch of the games that were pre-announced to be leaving. We spoke about this last time. But now we know what happens if you launch one of the games. And so what happens is you tap the icon and you get a little message that says, no longer available.
Nice. That's very nice.
So it hasn't deleted them then?
No. The icon apparently sticks around. It just gives you this error.
It doesn't even bother to offload them from your device? Seems silly.
Not.
I don't know what the best one is, right? Like, is it better to delete the game? Like, I don't know the answer to that question.
I think it's a big deal for Apple to reach into someone's home screen. Like, that feels like something they shouldn't do. And so
you should replace it with a U2 album.
You should replace it with a U2 album.
They take a game. Every game they take away, one U2 album.
Replace it with Paperboy Wizard, whatever.
Yes, Warren Buffett Paper Wizard, best game ever.
Yes.
Which is also gone from the App Store, so there's that.
But you can still get it though. If you bought it, you can still download it. They didn't like fully delete it. Jetpack Joyride 2 is coming to Apple Arcade, which I'm excited about. One of my favorite games of all time. It was just one of the games that they brought back with the Plus, like Jetpack Joyride Plus. You know, when they're like, here's a bunch of successful games. And I guess this was probably one of the ones that did well from that. And so now I expect Apple have commissioned Jetpack Joyride 2. This is how I imagine it went down.
I love this game. I have replayed it since it showed up on Apple Arcade.
Me too.
It's so good.
It's a great game, and so I'm excited about another one.
It's a great game.
So as follow-up from a couple of weeks ago, where I told the story of me losing picture-in-picture on YouTube, the setting appeared for me yesterday to turn on picture-in-picture, but it doesn't work.
Oh no!
So
come on, no!
I've enabled it, and when I go to the home screen, it just goes to the home screen. So,
it works just fine for me. I'm so sorry.
First they give you the Switch, I guess, and then maybe you have to wait another 4 weeks, and maybe it will work. But I've tried it on a bunch of devices to check it wasn't a beta problem. Like I tried it on my iPad Mini. It just goes to the home screen. So I'll keep you informed as to how this saga unfolds. And I have another grievance to air.
Okay.
I'm having an autocorrect problem.
Mm-hmm.
Where at the moment, every time I write the word will, as in like I will do this, it capitalizes the W.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know anybody called Will, I don't think. Do I know any Wills?
Like Will Smith?
Yeah. Do you know what? Maybe that's the reason. Like lots of people are talking about Will Smith, so they just capitalize the W's.
Look, man, it's differential privacy, okay?
I hate this so much.
Yes.
We just need Will Smith to go up there and smack it around a little bit.
Oh my God, Stephen. Hey, Federico. That joke won't make it to the published episode.
I know.
Release the Myke cut.
I'm going to put it in there.
Oh, wow. Okay. Then you did release the Myke cut.
Bold choice.
Yeah, I can't believe that you're taking a stand on this issue so late, you know?
I mean, you've had better jokes in the past, and but it's our call, man. This grievance I very much can relate with because I also have this problem, and I feel like this problem specifically with autocorrect has gotten worse in the past year, I want to say. Like, I don't know, like, I cannot point at a specific time. I just know that it's gotten worse. And initially it feels like one of those things, hey, does it feel like it's gotten worse? And maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. But I've also heard from other people complaining within the past year, and now you too, Myke, and I do think it has gotten worse. Other examples, like today, for example, I wanted to type in this very document that we are looking at right now in Google Docs, tiny topic. And when I was typing the word tiny, iOS insisted that I should type Tony instead. So
Tony
topic.
topics.
We should call them Tony topics now.
Tony
The Tonys.
The Tonys.
Okay. I will say this now and never remember it. The next time we do an episode that's all tiny topics, that
Oh
is the
my
inaugural
God.
Tonys.
It insisted that I type Tony. Sometimes when I want to type he'll, like he will, with the abbreviation, iOS thinks that I want to type hell instead. I'm like, no, I don't want to type that. I want to type he'll. And it doesn't do that.
We're and where.
Yes.
We're and we're. We are.
Yes.
And were.
Yes.
All those. It gets all those
gets
wrong.
it wrong. And just broadly speaking, sometimes there's an obvious word that I'm typing. I don't know what, just something that is so obvious that that's my intention, and it corrects my typo to something completely unrelated. And so I don't know what it is, but I do think it's gotten worse. I've heard enough people complain about this. And I mean, you look at just these examples are ridiculous. Like, why? I mean, look at this. Well, even if you like, look at the text field and the document that I'm in. What makes you think I want to type Tony instead of Tiny? Like, I don't even have anyone named Tony in my contacts.
Yeah. And it's the thing, if I was frequently talking about someone in my life called Will,
Yeah.
I would understand, right? But this isn't happening. So, like, and again, this is one of those things. Apple, I'm so happy you protect my privacy, but you gotta do a good job with the basics, right? If you're gonna do that. And the fact that your autocorrect can get messed up for reasons that can't seem to be understood, and in the past where they have literally had to push software updates to phones to fix these things. Do you remember this? What was it? Oh, the Apple had to do a software release one of the things it did was fix a common error with
What was
autocorrect. Man, I'm Googling furiously here.
Here it is. November 9th, 2017. It was the letter I was being turned to an exclamation mark or an A.
Perfect. Yep. That's how does that even happen? You know?
Look, you guys are complaining about this, but you need to remember, this is the company. They've taken the time that when you type web objects on the iPhone, it corrects it to the correct capitalization. So look, they're doing the best they can.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point. They're putting the energy, the engineering resources are going to the right place.
Follow radar, jeez. This episode of Connected is made possible by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform for building your brand and growing your business online. With Squarespace, you can build a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything, products, services, and even content. With Squarespace, you can stand out in any inbox with Squarespace email campaigns. You can encourage your visitors to sign up as email subscribers and start them on the journey to becoming loyal customers. Just start with an email template and customize it by applying your brand ingredients like site colors and logo. Plus, built-in analytics measure the impact of every send. And those analytics are available for your website as well. So you can see what pages are doing well, how people are getting to your site, so you can really maximize your prominence among search results using those SEO tools. Getting to build a site on Squarespace is always a joy. The tools are really great to use. You can customize things to your heart's content, and it's going to look good on any size device, which is just fantastic. Head on over to squarespace.com/connected for a free trial with no credit card required. And when you're ready to launch, use the code CONNECTED to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/connected and the code CONNECTED to get 10% off your first purchase and to show your support for the show. Our thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring Connected and supporting Relay FM. I want to talk about the studio display a little bit. Everyone's favorite display. Why?
Okay.
It's time for a quiz.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh no.
You'd forgotten what it meant. It's time for a quiz.
Yeah, I thought you were making a commentary on the studio display.
Me too.
Now, I will say, when you said something about a studio display, I pressed the button, but realized my microphone was on mute. So I didn't get the exact response that I wanted. But now I actually like more that I can just burst into a topic. Do you know the passionate ones? Round 3 we're going to be playing today. If you have forgotten what the Do You Know the Passionate Ones sub-quiz of the Connected Quiz means, it is a Family Feud / Family Fortunes type game. I have quizzed over 1,200 members of the Connected listenership about a variety of topics. And they give me their answers, and Federico and Steven have to try and guess which are the most frequent answers given around a certain topic. So, like, for example, if I ask, what's your favorite wearable device, and you said Apple Watch, that would grant you 50 points. If you give the second answer, 40 points, 30 points, 20, 10, and therefore going down the list. We currently sit in the quiz. Thusly, the overall scores are 652 points to Steven, 831 points to Federico. There are lots of points on offer for these 5 questions that are going to be in today's round of Do You Know the Passionate Ones. However, boys, I'm making a slight change to the way that we play the game.
Oh no.
Just for this sub-quiz. Sorry, Stephen.
Release the mic cough.
What I'm going to be doing now is the loser of the previous round will get to pick first. We will not be using
Okay.
a coin toss method.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm just a change I'm making to try and help keep the scores, I don't know, maybe try and get them a little closer than they are currently.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Did James not pay up this month, so we can't use Dice by PCalc in August?
I cannot comment.
Is the invoice
on
late?
ongoing legal matters. I cannot comment.
Ongoing SpawnCon contract negotiations.
On contract.
Oh my gosh, that's good.
So, Stephen, you're going to get the first pick today because you are the current overall loser.
I don't like that title.
Yes, you are an overall loser, Steven.
You're the current
in this
overall
game.
loser.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we have 5 questions today. I polled the Connected audience on a number of topics. And one of the first ones, I'm sorry, I'm finding a Google sheet. I'm trying to fill for time, but it's not working for me right now. The first question today is, what browser do you use? So I asked listenership of the Connected audience.
Come on.
What browser
Safari.
do you use?
And he goes first. This game is rigged already.
Safari.
Oh, okay.
Safari, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yes, I mean, a runaway success. Stephen gets 50 points for the top answer.
Boom.
Safari is, in fact, the most used browser amongst our listeners.
That's a real indication that we talk to a relatively specialized group of people, because that ain't true on the wider internet.
I'm going to go with Google Chrome.
Federico.
No.
You're correct. Yeah, no, you're correct.
Firefox.
Oh my God.
40 points goes to Federico. It is the second highest answer at Chrome or Google Chrome, as some people said it. This one, I got a lot of Safari / Chrome, which I got a lot of people, which I don't know how that answers the question. Which browser do you use? People said both. I basically just split those down the middle.
I think that's Chrome on the Mac and Safari on iPhone, I bet.
Oh, I know why people, or like a lot of people told me Chrome at work or whatever.
Yeah. Somebody wrote you a poem about their browsing.
So, Stephen, there is still 3 more answers available for what browser do you use. What is your next guess?
I think I'm going to go with Brave.
Brave. That's a brave choice.
Yeah, it is.
Brave is on the board, but it is the 5th highest answer. You get 10 points for Brave.
I'm going to
24 people, by the way.
24. I'm gonna go with Edge.
Edge is also on the board. The fourth highest answer. Federico clears 20 points for that.
And I'm going to round us out with Firefox.
This is a clean sweep. 30 points goes to Stephen for Firefox. Would you like to know some of the other browsers that made its way onto the list?
I do.
Yes.
One person uses something called Arc.
Arc. Yeah, I have the Arc beta as well.
I don't know what is Arc.
It's the browser from the company called The Browser Company.
Oh, I just thought that their browser was
Oh.
going to be called the Browser Company browser or something.
Any others jump out at you?
5 people using DuckDuckGo.
Okay.
Opera, 4 people.
What about Vivaldi?
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
What is Vivaldi?
That's another desktop browser that's...
Is it based on Opera?
Is it based on Opera? I think it's based on Opera.
Vivaldi.
Pour one out for Opera because more people were using Vivaldi than Opera.
It's a browser,
Nice.
but fun. It's
Okay.
also freakishly flexible and private. What is it based on? I'm trying to see what this is based on, but it has like a built-in ad blocker and stuff.
Right. They also make a mail client.
Or what about Internet Explorer? Is it on the list?
Did not make it.
That's good.
We've also got Orion.
Orion, yes.
One person said Reader. I feel like I need to have a conversation with this person.
Yeah, they don't look at the internet directly. They just read RSS feeds. We've had friends who have tried that.
I don't think that's I don't think that's your web browser, right?
Well,
Like you can do whatever you want, but
No,
like
they can only read through articles. Like they can open
No,
other
it's like,
websites.
what does this person do if they need to Google something?
Can't do it.
they don't. They
Right,
just
but
they
I
go to
don't
the
think
local
that this
library.
person does what they say they're doing, you know?
No, yeah. It's just,
So
okay.
in that round, Steven scored 90 points. Federico scored 60 points,
Okay.
Nice.
which means Federico gets the first crack at the next question, which is, what podcast app do you use?
Okay. Given our audience, I'm going to go with Overcast.
Ding, 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 ding. That is 50 points for Federico.
I mean, also...
77.9% of the respondents.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's overwhelming.
chose Overcast.
But is this question fair? Because Steven has access to Relay Analytics.
I
and
did not
don't.
log into them to look. My hands are off the keyboard.
Neither of you are allowed to look at anything.
Yeah.
But what I will say, I understand what you're saying, Federico. I mean, I see the rest of them.
But you have analytics to your shows, Federico. They're the same. They're the same thing.
However, what I got to say is the statistics for our show do not match this pie chart.
That's
Okay.
that's probably true. Also,
Okay.
Well, it is true. I just told you. I know. It is true. Stephen, you're up.
Apple Podcast.
That is the third highest answer.
Third?
I was worried about that.
So that's 30 points for Stephen.
Wait. If it's not Overcast, and Apple Podcast is number... See, I don't check analytics. That's my problem.
I've already told you it wouldn't help you to check analytics.
But it would give you some. It give you some idea. I mean,
Right, but
You do have... I'm gonna go with... Okay. Pocket Casts.
that is the second highest
Yeah.
answer.
Oof,
40
okay.
points go to Federico.
Okay.
I was torn between it and Apple.
Because our analytics show that Apple Podcasts is higher than Pocket Casts. So,
Okay, so we have a number 1, 2, and 3. There's still 4 and 5. Okay.
so we go back to Stephen.
Castro.
That is the fourth highest answer. 20 points for Stephen.
Okay. It's not Castro. I mentioned Pocket Cast. I mean, I'm gonna go with. I'll do it. That's Spotify.
Spotify is the final answer. 10 points go to Federico. I didn't think that would be the next guess of either of you. That was a big surprise.
I
to
would
me.
not have guessed
Yeah.
it.
We also have on the list Antenna Pod.
What?
What?
Don't know. Downcast, Google
Okay.
Podcast, Podcast Addict, Podcast Player RSS Radio, and Primecast.
I've come across the RSS radio one before.
No one.
AntennaPod is a completely open podcast player.
Completely open.
It's built by volunteers with no commercial interest, and it respects your privacy
Sure.
while giving you full control.
No one using Instacast.
Oh man, it was so good. It was so
That
good.
was so good.
Not
So
reported
good.
as such.
Okay.
The third question that I asked of our listenership was,
Wait, the points. The points in this round.
Very good, very good. Thank you for after that round. The points are 160 to Federico, 140 to Stephen.
Ooh,
Okay.
closing that gap, boy.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Who's closing what gap?
I'm coming up behind him.
Only in this round.
That's okay.
Before this round, Stephen, you were winning. So you've gone behind him. You're not coming up behind him.
No, I thought he was winning.
You won the first round.
You won the first
Who was
round,
winning
man.
before you rang the bell today?
I was.
Federico's currently crushing you overall, 991 to 792.
And now I'm only 20 points. Okay. So I'm not really closing any gaps.
You're not really, no, you have closed the gap by 20 points, even though we are at hundreds of points of difference right now.
Closing an artificial gap, boy.
There you go. I mean, technically, yes, you are closing the gap, right? Like, technically, yes, you have
Just
closed,
let him
you've closed
let
the
him
gap a
think
little
it.
bit
It's
more.
fine. Okay.
The third question is, what is your favorite social network?
Ooh. Okay.
So this will, because Federico, you did score most in that round.
Steven goes
it will be
first.
Steven's guess first. What is your favorite social network?
This is one tricky question.
Yeah, because people love and hate these things.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people wrote a lot of commentary to me and the answers to here, which I, again, for the next time, I'm going to be very prescriptive about the kinds of information I want in these answers. I don't need people to tell me what they think of everything. It's not helpful when I'm trying to score these things up, but they do anyway.
And Twitter and Instagram both been in the news negatively a lot. But these questions were asked a while back, I think. My gut says this, so I'm going to say Twitter.
Twitter is the top answer, 50 points.
Whew.
Go to Stephen.
I'm torn between two for the second place. One is the obvious one, and the other is maybe a more interesting pick.
Twitter took 35% of the vote, by the way.
35?
That's not very high.
Well,
There's some wild splitting in this one. Like,
Yeah.
I am gonna go with, I'm a man of passion and I like to risk it. I'm gonna go with Discord.
That's good.
it is good. Is it good enough to get on the board? Just. It is the fifth highest answer, so 10 points go to
Okay.
Federico.
I was thinking about that too, Federico.
Yeah.
It's bold.
Yeah.
It is.
I wasn't expecting Discord in the answers to this question.
Yeah, I don't think about it as a social network, but I guess some people
People do.
A lot of them are open, and the one that we manage is not. So unless you become a Relay FM member at relay.fm/connected/join, you can be social on our Discord. Okay.
You give a terrible URL, getconnectedpro.co. See how much nicer that is? If you have to say 2 slashes, it's not good. It's not
You
a good
want to go to Apple Hardware Calendar.
That's
.com.
nice. That's subterfuge.
I'm
Stephen, what's your guess?
going to. It's my pick. I'm going to say Instagram.
Yeah.
That is the second highest answer.
Yeah. Okay.
40 points for Stephen.
All right. I'm gonna go with Reddit.
That is the third highest answer.
Good call.
Goes to Federico. That's 30 points.
So just number 4 is open.
Just number 4 is left.
See,
We have
I feel
had
like
Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, and Discord is the fifth. Fourth is open.
I feel like picking the 4th highest is hard because like the first couple, the top couple, or maybe what you think they're going to be. The 5th one is like the dark horse. It kind of comes in and snags a spot you don't expect. But fourth just means it's just okay, right? It's not beloved or massive, but it's not a ghost town either. So for fourth place, I'm going to say, I'm thinking about our audience. I'm going to say Facebook, just because it's so big. I feel like it's got to be in the top 5, but it would be kind of low down in our audience. So I'm going to say Facebook.
11 people said Facebook. Is that enough?
No.
No, it is not enough.
Okay. Well, I'm proud of our audience that Facebook isn't on the list. Is it Path? I still miss Path.
No one said that.
Social network, huh?
I would rebuild Path. Someone give me VC money and I'll rebuild Path as it was.
Yeah.
Day phone, night phone kind of guy, you know?
Can't believe this could come up again. Didn't we speak about this last week?
We did.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did. We did. Yes, we did. So what is your favorite social network?
What is
Yeah.
yeah.
What is a social network when you think about it?
Email.
To some people, it's a group chat app, you know? So. To some people, it is a
Yeah.
message board system called Reddit.
Is it
so it's
iMessage?
not- There's a couple of choice picks that I could make.
Yeah.
I am gonna go with. Let's see. Yeah, I'll do. Okay, Snapchat.
12 people said Snapchat. That is not enough to make it the second highest answer. And to react to a joke Stephen made, 8 people said iMessage. So
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
we're back to Stephen to pick now.
So Snap was 1 ahead of Facebook. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
See, I have a question here. And
Yeah.
is it, this is not my answer, but I'm just like positing, is TikTok a social network? They want it to be, but I'm not sure it is.
Well, what I will say to you is Reddit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say TikTok.
41 people said TikTok.
Yeah. It's TikTok. Yeah.
It's not on the list.
What?
Oh.
What?
It's not high enough.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to mention David in the Discord mentioned Truth Social.
You will be happy to know nobody said it.
Yay! Thank you.
By the way, the bar you're trying to cover of Discord as the 5th highest answer is 58.
Oh. So we're not far off
Whoa.
with TikTok.
You weren't far. You were not far.
Okay. Well, I guess it's time for the choice picks then. What is your favorite social network? There's a. I'm gonna go with Letterboxd.
Unbelievably, Letterboxd came up, but only 4 people.
Yay! 4 people. You go.
Not enough.
Great job. Great
Okay.
job.
Can we each get one more pick?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to say micro.blog.
Ooh,
6
nice.
people. 6 people went with micro.blog. So Federico, you're coming in with the final answer here.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it. Maybe it's not a social network. I don't care. YouTube.
Only 15 people.
Okay.
The answer that 119 people gave that neither of
Hold
you
on.
could guess
Hold on. Is it none?
is none.
Oh my God! Not again.
There are 119 people that said some element of none or ugh social networks or ew and stuff like that. To which I say to people, come on. You don't have to want to use them yourself, but you don't have to be so dismissive. You know?
Oh, look at me. I don't use social media.
2 people use Be Real. 1 person
Nice.
uses something called Counter.social. 1 person won't let go of Google+. We
What
had
about,
7 people.
What about
was that?
Glass, the Instagram
5.
alternative? Okay.
Yeah. What about Mastodon?
7.
Nice.
1 person still pulling for Peach.
What about Tumblr?
Peach. What about Yo? Did Yo get any
8
usage?
people with Tumblr, 0 with Yo, 2 people with WhatsApp. 2 people said Slack. 1 person said Nextdoor.
Oh no!
Yep.
Nice.
Oh no!
At the
no.
end of
Nice.
that round, the overall score for today so far, with the 3 questions, is 230 to Stephen, 200 to Federico.
Okay.
So you really are closing in now.
This episode of Connected is made possible by SourceGraph. So say that you've brought on a new developer, they're hired, they're in your company, but now you have to get them onboarded. And if your company is growing, you're going to have to do this more and more, but it's a big undertaking every time. One of the biggest challenges for new hires is to get up to speed with the project their new team is working on. This can be tricky if the code bases your developers are working in are already large. Thankfully, SourceGraph makes it easy to move quickly even in those big code bases. Developers know that knowledge is most useful when it's findable. Centralization is helpful, but given the fact that most companies store knowledge in at least 2 different locations, how do you work to make knowledge accessible to those who need it? As a code intelligence platform, SourceGraph gives developers what they need to drive their own learning over time and in different situations. Teams without SourceGraph need to rely on asking colleagues or reviewing out-of-date documentation, which is cumbersome and time-consuming. But with SourceGraph, each developer can search across millions of repositories to find specific code, saving time for themselves and everyone else. So when questions do come up, you know it's about the big stuff that's worthy of the extra time. SourceGraph was created to make developers' lives easier, and today they work with leading companies across every industry, including 3 out of the 5 top tech companies, plus PayPal, Uber, Plaid, GE, Reddit, Atlassian, and more. So visit about.sourcegraph.com to learn more. That's about.sourcegraph.com to find out why some of the biggest tech companies in the world use SourceGraph and to see what SourceGraph can do for yours. Check out the link in the show notes to let them know you heard about them from us. Our thanks to SourceGraph for their support of the show and Relay FM.
All right, the next question, which is question number 4 out of 5 today, is what weather app do you use? Federico, you get the first pick.
Carrot weather.
Carrot weather is the top answer. 47.4% of the vote. Not vote. I'm talking like the upgradies now. Answers. This is not that.
What even are other weather apps?
I will say this one has the most unique answers of any question.
I bet it does.
So far in any category.
I'm going to throw out the default weather app.
This one maybe of any question had the most interpretations of name. It is the second highest answer, the Apple Weather app. It was known as Stock App, Weather, Apple Weather, Apple's Weather app, Weather.app. Like so many of these, it took a while to pull this one together. But Stephen, you get 40 points for that answer.
Well,
all right.
Problem starts now.
The problem starts now,
after this
boys.
too. So what is popular? Let me think about this.
You're an app tastemaker. You got this.
Yeah.
There's one really nice app. I'll risk it. I think it's called Hello Weather.
Hello Weather.
That is a nice app. That's what my wife uses.
Yeah.
7 people said they use Hello Weather as their favorite weather app. 7 is not enough.
This is one of those things like, there's some cool indie apps, but there's also massive, like big commercial apps. And the question is, does the self-selecting audience that filled this out, do they use those big weather apps? I'm just going to take a swing at this, and I'm going to say AccuWeather.
10 people said AccuWeather. That did not pass the bar to make it to the top 5 answers.
Okay.
Wow.
This might be the hardest question we've gotten so far.
Yes. Yeah, this is very difficult.
This is really hard. Like, we're going to go for a few more rounds on this, but I feel very confident that there is at least one of these that you will not get.
So I'm thinking if you answer this question and it's not one of those 2 apps, maybe you use a very specialized weather app that has one of those fancy radars. Is there such a thing as radar scope?
There is.
There is
such a thing as radar scope. Yeah, one person said that they used it.
There you go.
Yikes.
Nice.
Yikes. I'm going to say the Weather Channel.
The Weather Channel. 4 people said the Weather Channel. That's not enough.
Yeah, okay. So we're not using big corporate weather apps here.
I'm not going to answer that question. What I am going to say is there are 3 answers left on the board. There is the 3rd, 4th, and 5th highest answer.
Okay. Hold on.
3rd and 5th, I am confident that you both could get.
Okay. Oh. I had an idea.
But it's Federico's turn. So.
I know.
Just double checking because I get lost sometimes.
I'm not telling him my idea.
Okay, so we said Carol weather, we said Apple weather. Steven said IQ weather already. There's either that one or could it be
Let's push you for an answer, Federico.
Could it be that they're still using dark sky?
It most certainly could be.
Yeah.
That is the 3rd highest answer.
Yep.
30 points goes to Federico.
That was my brainwave.
It was interesting to me that neither of you got it, and then when neither of you said it, I knew I had to intervene because you were never going to get it if you hadn't said it by that point, because you were both going down the route of like obscure.
Well, and in my brain, it's already dead.
That's what I realized. That we think of dark sky as no more, but it's still very much more.
And I have another idea for the 5th one, but it's Steven's turn.
Yep.
No.
I'm going to go with Weather Underground.
Nice pick.
Yeah, but only one person though.
What?
So,
wow.
Yeah, so it's not going to do it for you. I was surprised by that too.
I'm going to go with not boring weather.
Ooh, not boring weather. 2 people, so that doesn't make it either. One more guess. So Stephen, take yours, and then you take one more each.
I'm going to go with... You said radar scope, didn't you?
I did.
There's another one that's like that. NOAA weather, NOAA. That's National Oceanic something Administration.
No, it's not there at all.
NOAA. Wow.
It's NOAA. Anyway, Federico, your final guess for...
You just open it and it's 40 days of rain. It's an Old Testament joke.
I'm torn between 2 apps. Then I will say what the other one is later. I'm going to go with Weather Strip.
One person uses Weather Strip.
Okay.
That's the that's kind of like Weatherline, isn't it? But it's all hand drawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. I've played with that. So I only have one more pick.
Yep.
Kind of want to say, well, no, it's dead.
Oh, you said Dark Sky was. Look where that got you.
So I don't think Weatherline works anymore.
Yeah, I think they actually shut off the data.
But they sold it and it became the Fox Weather app. So I'm just going to say the Fox Weather app.
That's not on the list either.
Yeah, the branding probably killed it.
The 4th highest answer is the Norwegian weather app, YR.
What?
Yep.
Go Norway.
So one of the things that was really surprising to me in this is I got so many regional apps, like apps for Australia, Meteo Swiss, just like a bunch of applications with a few answers for like different countries. Like BBC Weather's in here, Bomb Weather for Australia, Oz Weather. So there's a lot of them in there. YR was the one that had 18 people that went for it. Honestly, the most surprising result for me in these 5 questions, there were 13 people who said none.
Yeah, who doesn't check the weather?
Which is the 5th highest answer was none.
Wow.
Which I can't get my head around that one, to be honest. How could you know what you never use a weather app? Like
that blows me away. Radar Scope is number 2 paid weather app in the App Store right now.
Not amongst our listeners.
I was looking through this to see
also because it's very expensive, and it's kind of expensive, I think.
It's $10.
Yeah.
One person.
Wow.
Okay, our final question today. The points currently are at 270 to Stephen, 280 to Federico.
Ooh.
In this round here today. So it's very close. Anyone could win the day.
Yeah.
Our 5th and final question is, what app do you use most to keep in touch with your friends?
Wow.
What app do you use most to keep in touch with your friends? The first answer goes to Stephen because he is currently trailing behind.
And it's iMessage.
You seem very confident.
I do.
You should be, because it is 50 points at the top answer for you.
I mean, technically the app is messages though.
I put together messages, iMessage, all of them.
Okay,
I
okay.
chose iMessage here as the name.
Okay. I am going to go with WhatsApp.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, this is one of those things, right? Where you got to think to yourself, where are our listeners?
Yeah, I know.
You know? But you would be right to think it because it's the second highest answer.
Okay.
You get 40 points for WhatsApp.
Okay.
How do they keep up with friends? I'm going to say... Was it how they keep up with friends or how they message with friends?
What app do you use most to keep in touch with your friends?
Keep in touch
Keep in touch.
with your friends.
It's not digital touch, Steven.
That's a bummer.
How do you know?
Yeah. You're not looking at the spreadsheet. If it's digital
If
touch,
Stephen
the
would have
podcast
answered
is
this
over.
question, he would have said it. Like, I'm convinced.
I do like sending them, mostly ironically. I know that messaging is really big in apps like Instagram and Snapchat, but I'm not sure that's where our audience is for that. But Instagram was also very high in the social network question. So I'm going to say Instagram.
Okay, so 21 people said Instagram. That ain't enough.
Okay. I'm going to go with Facebook Messenger.
That is the fourth highest answer. 20 points go to Federico. Left on the board is the third highest answer and the fifth highest answer.
Yeah.
Facebook Messenger was 76, by the way.
And that confirms or, backs up my fourth place as the weird spot.
There was an awful lot of begrudgingly in that one. People seemed embarrassed to say it, which was funny to me.
Telegram.
Good pick,
Was it?
I think.
26 points. Well, 26 answers say no points.
Okay. Discord.
You're doubling down on Discord today, aren't you? You'd be right to do so. It is the third highest answer.
Nice.
30 points go to Federico.
Nice.
Fifth answer is available, Stephen. Can you get it?
We've done messages,
WhatsApp,
Discord.
Facebook Messenger, Instagram, and Telegram.
And I'm looking for the fifth. I feel like this is something...
Email.
I feel like it's something that's like not a social network in a way. If it was 2003, you could say blogging, but that's not true anymore. I'm going to say FaceTime.
3 people said FaceTime.
Oh, no.
It's not enough. And I will say, because Federico made the joke, 2 people said mail, and 1 person said mime stream. It's very specific.
But that's John Boris.
It's like, I want to keep in touch with my friends, but only with this one email. app.
I can't do
only
it on my
with
phone.
Mindstream.
I'm sorry, I can't.
It's either,
Yeah, I guess that's the problem with that person, right?
it's either John or the MimeStream developer who said that, I think. Okay. I will say, you know what? Slack.
It's good. It's 18 people. That's not enough.
Okay.
Did you do something silly like separate SMS from messages?
No. Nah.
I just do what people tell me.
That's hardly ever true.
No, it can be SMS. Come on.
What else is it? What else is out there?
Well, there's things out there.
Okay. I'm going to go back to the social question again. I'm going to say Twitter.
5 people
No, man.
Yeah, okay.
use Twitter. 1 person uses Twitterific.
Jason.
Exclusively.
I'm gonna go ahead and say Skype.
No, that's not on there at all, man. That's the first one. That's just not there.
Nice.
Path. All right. What was it? We're not going to get it.
No. Hold on.
You
Hold
can.
on.
I want to give you a 2 more guesses
Yeah.
each. You can
Don't
do
give
this.
up.
Yeah.
Don't give up. I want every last point out of this game.
Well, we haven't said it yet, so I'm just going to put on the board. I'm going to say Snapchat.
27 people.
Yeah.
That ain't it. No.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. So given the pandemic, I'm gonna go ahead and say Zoom.
Zoom also not there. Our listeners do not like video conferencing applications.
Yeah. Okay.
I
They
will
don't.
say Snapchat was 27. The The fifth highest answer had 28 people.
So what's the size of Snapchat in our audience?
But one more.
But one more.
But one more.
Or one more.
Crucially, one more. So, Stephen, you take this guess, then you get one more each, and that's the end of the game today.
Man, this is brutal. We said Discord. We said Slack.
What other messaging
What
apps?
else? What else is out there? I mean,
Stay in touch with your friends,
carrot weather.
and you're not doing video with your friends.
Your friends.
Friends.
We said.
What are friends?
What are friends?
What? Yeah.
Are your co-workers friends? I don't know.
Zoom got shot down. I assume it's not Microsoft Teams either.
Nah.
Is it none? That'd be so sad.
No, is it? Oh no.
Is that your
No,
answer?
No, it can be none. No, don't say none. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say none. That would break my heart
Okay.
for our listeners.
All right. Well, two people were really sad. I don't know. What
Are
to
you
tell
serious?
Yeah, two people
Yeah.
said none.
Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty rough, man. I was like, I
Give
didn't
him-
like that one. I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Give him-
man.
I mean, do
You
I
can text me if you want. I don't know.
Give him access to the Discord or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. My mind is completely blank. I mean, like, I'm gonna do something like off the wall, like in real life, talking to people in real life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay.
I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
Because I forgot the order of where you were going. This is now the last guess, and it's Federico's.
Okay. I'm gonna say that they just called them on the phone.
One person likes the phone.
Okay.
So that's the round over.
Okay.
You're so close.
Was it SMS?
No, one person said SMS.
Okay.
Signal. 28 people.
Okay.
Jeez.
Okay.
So
Makes
it's
sense.
interesting to me. 26 people use Telegram. 28 people use Signal. So Signal's the winner, I guess, of that one.
Wow.
All right,
Signal.
so that ends today's round. Stephen with 320 points.
Mhm.
Federico, 370 points. So Federico
Yes.
wins today again. This
Yes.
has unearthed an important milestone in the Connected Quiz. Somebody has passed 1,000 points.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen, you have 972 points. Federico, you have 1,201 points in the overall Connected Quiz score.
I am the champion.
I mean,
Yes.
we haven't gotten to champions yet, but you are currently in the lead,
Okay.
and that's the end of the day.
Signal.
Mm-hmm.
Never saw it coming.
Clearly.
This episode of Connected is made possible by Capital One. Have you ever hit a technical snafu while shopping online, or have payment fields ever given you a headache? Has your mobile banking app been down when you really needed to use it? Capital One believes everyone deserves better banking, with easier access to their money and more security while doing so. That's why Capital One is investing in machine learning. It allows Capital One to do things like fight fraud with random forests, with models that quickly detect suspicious activity, making it faster to alert federal investigators, and identify how mobile app outages happen with causal models. Keeping their mobile app up and running doesn't happen by accident. Anomaly detection and incident response help determine why app outages happen so engineers can quickly remedy them. Capital One is also speeding up online shopping with machine learning at the edge. They make shopping with virtual card numbers smoother and more secure. This technology is based on logistic regression models running inference in the browser, identifying payment fields, which helps make virtual card numbers easier and faster. The potential of machine learning is so big, and see how Capital One is using machine learning to create the future of banking. Search machine learning at Capital One. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Before I was so rudely interrupted by the quiz,
Can you imagine if I had another set of questions? Can you imagine?
I would leave. I was going to talk about how Apple said that the Studio Display, some people were having audio issues, and that the fix was to remove it from power, basically, which is a real pain because the cable doesn't come out of the back of it, which is dumb. But, Myke, you did me a favor because in the course of recording, Apple has released an updated version of Studio Display firmware that you
Good.
can run by going to software update on the attached Macintosh computer. And hopefully it will fix the audio issues, which like some people were having, I saw a video of audio like cutting in and out.
Yeah, I've had this.
Or audio playing at a high speed for no reason, like very strange stuff. Hopefully this fixes it.
I would have a thing where like I would play a video and it would play for like a second and the audio would cut off, and I would close the tab, do it again, and it would do it again. So I have to unplug it, wait, replug it back in. So I'm happy. I'll be updating to the new firmware after we record today.
Good. Hey, let us know next week if it seems to solve it for you.
I mean, it's intermittent, so this is one of those things where I'm only going to be able to tell you if it happens again. You know?
Okay.
It's one of those weird bugs, but I will be on it.
Why can you just not pull the power cable out?
Why doesn't it have a power button?
Why doesn't it have a button on the back? Yeah. It's not like they invented a MagSafe power connector for a display and put it on the
Steven,
iMac.
It just works, you know?
No,
like,
it doesn't. It just works if you go to the floor and unplug it.
Yeah.
All right, Federico, there's a story by Mark Gurman about iPadOS 16. What's going on?
So apparently Apple has internally decided, of course it's not official yet, we'll probably know in September. I don't think Apple is going to pre-announce any of this. But according to Mark Gurman, they have internally decided to delay iPadOS 16 by about a month, says the story. The reason why is Stage Manager and the brand new multitasking mode on iPadOS 16. Gurman is also suggesting that Apple needs more work on Stage Manager following the release of the public beta and the criticism that it has drawn from both users and developers due to its instability and general bugginess and lack of polish. And doing this, pushing the release of iPadOS 16 to the month of October, essentially, and splitting it from iOS 16 would also bring iPadOS 16 closer to the release of new iPad hardware. Currently rumored, of course, there's the M2 iPad Pro and the 10th generation base model iPad that are both on the line at this point. Now, I do want to say before we talk about whether we think this is the right approach or not, I want to say that there is precedent for this. This is not the first time Apple may have decided to release iPadOS later than iOS. I believe the last time this occurred was 3 years ago with iPadOS 13. Fun fact, that year, Apple was also working on some major new features for iPadOS multitasking. It was the year that they introduced multi-window. So, interesting coincidence that the same year they're doing new multitasking things, they also think they need more time. But yeah, this wouldn't be the first time.
I hope more people adopt Stage Manager than multi-window.
Yeah, there's yes, obviously. Now, as I wrote, I'm just going to repeat what I wrote in my story that we discussed from the public beta release. I like Stage Manager. I don't hate Stage Manager. There's a ton of Stage Manager critics out there, but I do think it's buggy. As I wrote in my story, at the time with Public Beta 1, it was effectively impossible for me to use with an external display, which is one of the big selling points of Stage Manager, being able to place windows on an external display. It's impossible to use. And the thing is, it has gotten worse with Beta 4 or Public Beta 2. Not just the external display integration, that's still very problematic, but Stage Manager itself on the iPad has gotten worse. They have changed the window resizing behaviors. I get more crashes than before. It just feels worse than before. And it doesn't help that when it comes to the external display integration, as I mentioned last week, they also denied one of the feature requests that I had made that I still believe would have made the entire system so much better. My request was make it easy for users to transfer an entire workspace, so a set of multiple apps, from the iPad to the display by clicking a button or something. Instead, Apple insists that you should do this manually, one window at a time, which I think is the wrong approach, because
That sounds like the iPad way to me, Federico. You know what I mean? They're staying true and core to iPad multitasking. Do it slowly and manually.
Yeah, I see. I appreciate your sarcasm, and I think you're right in there. But it kind of defeats the purpose of having those sets on the left side. Yeah. So if they need more time, I think they should take the time to reassess not just the stability, but while you're at it, take stock of some of the criticism regarding the design. Maybe it's time to go back and to the HI people and say, hey, design lab, can we get another pass at this? Maybe there's a few things you could polish. And also, again, if you got an extra month and you are rethinking the resources that Stage Manager needs, I'm just going to say it. Are you really sure you cannot bring this to older iPads? Because now would be the time to take that criticism and do something if you are delaying the update.
Do you think this has been delayed and it's gotten weird and buggy because they're going to try and find a way to put it on more iPads?
Yes.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think so.
That wasn't what I thought you were going to say.
I didn't think you were going to say that either. That's surprising to me.
I do think they're making the wrong decision there. I still believe that, if you open Twitter or Reddit or any of these places where iPad people are really passionate about the iPad, about the computer they own, they are also very upset about not being able to use Stage Manager even on a 2020 iPad Pro or a 2018 iPad Pro, which is a lot of people still have because it's still such a great computer. But the 2021, was it 2020 or 2021? When did they do the
2020?
2020, yeah.
Because it came out at the same time as the Magic Keyboard or trackpad.
Yes, exactly. Not having it on that one, that's rough because so many people bought that iPad during the pandemic with the Magic Keyboard, and it's such a wasted opportunity. You know what? You're just leaving goodwill right there on the table. You're just losing all that goodwill from people by not doing this. And I continue to believe it's the wrong decision at a top manager level to insist, no, we should make this M1 only. Make it M1 only with all the extra bells and whistles. External display, whatever. Just give a basic version to more people. Some version of it to more people. I still continue to believe that. And if they won't do it, I will write as much that it's a shame. It's a shame that they won't do it.
I think anyone out there really holding their breath for massive changes are going to be disappointed. I hear what you're saying. I think they should do the work to make it work on older iPads. But if you read this and think, oh my gosh, they're going to fix all the problems with this new interface, I don't know if a month's going to do it. I mean, the current beta, as we have talked about, is really pretty rough. There's still time. So look, Safari last year shows they're willing to make big changes when it's necessary. I have this nagging feeling about this, that when Stage Manager ships, it's going to be effectively what they showed off in June. And those of us who want different things or other features, Federico, a lot of which you've talked about, I think this month is going to be spent trying to patch up what they've got and not really pushing the ball forward in any meaningful way. And that's a bummer, but I think it's wrong going into this with super high expectations. Is that unfair? I mean, I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but...
No,
I'm leaning in your direction because I don't think this is like Safari was. Safari was just no, this was, you must change this. This is bad. Stage Manager, if they just ship a better performing version of what they have, it's fine. It's good. I agree with Federico. There are more things you could add. I agree. It would be nice if they could widen the scope a little bit to include another iPad if they can make that work. But just shipping a stable version of the current iteration of Stage Manager is better than not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that was the way with the original intent of Safari. Shipping that would have been worse than not doing it. So...
But I disagree that shipping a working version of this would be good because the external display version of this is so broken right now.
No, but I'm talking about they fix that too. That's what I mean.
But even functionally speaking, I don't want to say that they got it all wrong, but they kind of did.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is still better than the current way.
I mean,
that you can use an iPad with a display.
Doesn't take much.
No, that's true.
That's what I'm saying, though, right? Like that even if then this isn't perfect, it's all in the right direction.
Is that a high threshold that Apple really wants to shoot for? Doesn't take much. I don't know.
I was actually thinking about this last night, actually. Like, we're probably not far from weekly betas. It's got to be coming in the next couple. I mean, next week should be beta 5. Mm-hmm. And then after that, are we on the weekly cycle? Like, hopefully we'll see some of this shaping up. There's a lot of stuff broken in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect, for example, at this point, like while we're talking about, don't expect Stage Manager to fundamentally change. Like,
right.
They're not, I understand they are not going to do real freeform resize like on macOS. Like, no, they're not going to do it. They're not going to add in a month a tiling system that's similar to Windows. Or like, no, that's not going to happen. But for example, even grabbing a window is difficult right now. Just grabbing it, because you got to find that tiny strip of pixels where you got to place the pointer. Like, even that very basic gesture is so hard to perform still in beta 4. So like,
going to the home screen. I still can't believe that they have not added that if you click or tap behind, like on that blank space, that you go to the home screen. Like, you can on macOS. Like on the macOS version, if you click the desktop, you go to the desktop, right? Mm-hmm. Where it is so much more helpful on an iPad to have quick access to going home. And I know I can swipe up, but my hand, like, I'm already there. Like,
my hand is on the trackpad. Like, and I want to click.
Yeah, like, let me click. Yeah. I that is bananas to me that doesn't work. Like, I just can't get it. But these are the things, though, that they can spend a bit more time and do. Like, that kind of stuff. Or, like, they could maybe do a better job with the touch target of where you move the thing around. They could fix the crashing issues. That kind of stuff. I reckon that's what we're going to get. I would stretch say it supports other iPads. Outside of that, I think this is just a case of, like, they know this isn't there. They may as well take the extra time and release iPadOS 16 around the same time they release macOS. Like, why not? You know? So it will probably be 16.1.
Yeah, and I mean, even like take care of a lot of polish that's needed for Stage Manager. Like, one of the things that annoys me so much right now is it keeps forgetting my window sizes. And so I am constantly dealing with apps growing taller and hiding the dock.
Yeah, I see that a bunch.
I never want you to hide the dock. Just stay above the dock and stay right there. And I'm constantly grabbing them from the corner and dragging them just a little bit up so that I can see the dock again. Like, that shouldn't happen.
Like, you have an app, you change the size, you go to a different stage, go back to the other one, and it's grown bigger again.
Yes. It's like, what? Are you just growing while I'm not looking? What are you doing?
What happens if I leave this for a long time? No, it's like zooms
It grows
in
out of the iPad. It grows out of the iPad.
So it's leaking into my external display.
You find it on the iPhone too. And it's like, what?
It's like a lava lamp just like oozes in.
It's just getting really confused with universal control, and it's just going in the other direction.
I want to go over on that device.
Oh, man.
But yeah, it does that. It definitely does that. And yeah, it's, sometimes those apps, they flicker. Like, why are you? What's the flickering? Why are you flickering? Why?
It's like, a photo uploading website.
Oh man, we should have mentioned that as your favorite social network.
I know.
And you should have gone for it.
I was in a conversation this weekend. You know, a lot of people have negative feelings about Instagram. On Rocket, they solved it. That's all their title. It's like, we fixed Instagram. So they figured it out, but Instagram hasn't. And I was in this conversation this weekend. It's like, Flickr. It was so good.
They had it.
They had it.
Right there.
And I kind of wish
they were
could
late
all
to
go
the
back.
iPhone. That was the problem.
They were, just like Facebook was, but Facebook
Yep.
figured it out eventually, and Flickr did not. I wish it'd come back.
Facebook had to buy Instagram because of it.
Also, Facebook had to manipulate the minds of people, but yeah, they did. They
That didn't save them on mobile. That came afterwards.
Sure.
But they had to buy Instagram, so they had some kind of footing in mobile, because otherwise they were going to get crushed. And then they had to copy Snapchat and then copy TikTok, and here we are.
Ruined society. Yes. So anyway, Stage Manager needs more work. And personally, I would be happy with the delay. So, I can...
I'm just happy that they're going to do it, personally.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it will be annoying because things like iMessage editing and removing messages, and none of that's going to work, right, with all your devices. But that was going to be the same if you had a Mac anyway, right? So you got to wait until macOS gets it for it to work on everything you own. I think it makes sense. The iPhone beta is pretty strong, so I don't think we're going to get what we got with iOS 13. Because that was the funny thing of iOS 13. It wasn't just iPadOS, it was delayed, right? It was the
whole thing.
It was iOS on non-new phones. So the new phones came with 13 in the box, but they were the only thing that got 13.
Yeah.
Everything else got 13.1. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah, that's correct. You know what I find surprising about iOS 16 at the moment?
Yeah.
Apple isn't making enough widgets for their own apps.
Do you mean the lock screen ones? Or
The lock screen ones. The lock
Yeah.
screen ones.
Yeah.
They aren't making enough of them. Like, I was looking today. They're not even making a circular widget on the lock screen for reminders. They don't have one. Like, and there's so much stuff that's missing. There's no music. They've done nothing for mail. Like, they've made very few lock screen widgets. And that I find surprising, because that wasn't necessarily true for the home screen widgets 2 years ago. So I don't know. Maybe they are taking different approaches here. Maybe they'll come with beta 5 or future betas. I don't know. But I found that surprising. I was taking a look at, I was redoing my lock screen this week, and I realized Apple is making very, very few lock screen widgets this year. And that's strange.
If you want to find links to stuff we spoke about, head on over to the website, relay.fm/connected/409. While you're on the website, you can do a couple things. You can send us feedback or follow-up. There's an email link there in the sidebar. There's also a couple of buttons at the top of the page where you can join Connected Pro and get longer ad-free versions of the show each and every week. You can find us all online. You can find Myke on Twitter as iMyke, IMYKE, and Myke hosts a bunch of other shows here on Relay FM. You can find Federico on Twitter at Viticci, Viticci, and he's the editor-in-chief of MacStories.net. You can find me on Twitter as ISMH, and you can visit me on the web at applehardwarecalendar.com. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Squarespace, SourceGraph, and Capital One. Until next week, guys, say goodbye.
Arrivederci.
Cheerio.
Bye, y'all.